Hi.
Welcome
to
to
High
High
Wine
Wine
Times.
Times.
We're your hosts, Jeanette and
Lauren.
we
And
missed everybody.
I know. Well, it's not going to feel like it's been a while, but for
I
us, it's been a
know.
little while.
Been lifing.
We've been lifing. We've had to travel for work. We've had a just
I want to say
sickness and in
holiday.
health, and it's just
But no, man, we were
Yeah.
just lifing everything.
yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'm happy to be back.
I know. I'm excited.
We needed our catch up.
We did, and it felt weird not doing it as well. Like I
Yeah.
kind of missed it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
We're back into the routine. You just jump back in. You stop
Yeah.
going to the gym for a while, you just go back in.
You gotta just hop back on the horse. Like you need some
Yeah.
more wine
That's us.
before we tell everybody what we have today. Because don't worry, we already got half of us down. But
yes,
for
cheers.
wine, cheers. What do we have?
This is well, first of all, delish. This is a Tempranillo.
I love Tempranos.
I really like this. I feel like it can be paired with so many. Sorry, Anciano. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Anciano number 3.
Just buy it. It has a gold.
It's got the gold
foily
thing.
stuff
You
on it.
can't miss it. Really great taste.
Yeah.
I feel like I can pair this
Super
with
smooth.
most things. Pasta,
Girl
steak.
dinner, popcorn.
This is a really good one. I don't think you could go wrong with this.
Easy table wine.
It's not too expensive, so totally like if you want to impress somebody with tasting good and not spending a lot.
And it is, a Rioja.
Yeah. Love. Recommend. Highly recommend.
Yep.
Anciano number 3. Give it a shot.
I would definitely recommend it. Well,
Yeah.
okay, so what have we done this week, Jeanette?
What do you mean? Oh, we went to a concert.
You have been at a bunch of concerts lately,
Well,
so I
yes.
feel like I'm just the tail end of like the concert stream.
Well, first of all, we were the most spontaneous that you have been and we have been together in a long time.
I mean, it was free.
Yeah.
Well, until you got hungry and then we had to eat, so then that part wasn't free. But the concert was free, and that is what counts.
Yeah, so it's not too often where we work, right across the street, they were having a free thing.
Mm-hmm.
Free, first of all. Then we found out is the Academy of Country Music.
Yep.
It's coming back to Dallas, the Dallas area.
Premieres on Thursday.
Yes, but leading up to that, they're having free concerts.
Or I guess it's not premiering, it's just
playing.
Happening.
Yeah.
Reba, our girl Reba's hosting. Love.
We took so many good pictures on the murals.
We did take some good pictures.
We wanted to run into her. I'm sure she's busy.
We did see famous people, but
we didn't know.
Like my golf experience, we had no clue who they were. So like Chris was like freaking out. Oh my gosh, it's this person. Oh my gosh, it's this person. And then like they almost ran into me and Jeanette as we were crossing the street. And the guy could have smacked me in the face. I wouldn't have known who he was.
We didn't know. We just let the man pass because he was in a rush.
Right. And like, it's either a blow to your ego because we're like, we don't know who you are. Sorry, we didn't recognize you. You're not. You literally have to be Taylor Swift.
You're welcome.
Kelsey could also be out, and I probably wouldn't recognize him. I mean, I maybe would.
Maybe.
But like, if you're not Taylor Swift, you could hit me, like run directly into me, and I'm probably not even gonna know who you were. I did ask though who it was, and it was Dylan Scott. Yep. Good job, man. You crushed it in doing the things that you.
And sorry we almost tripped you, brother.
Sorry we almost tripped you.
Sorry.
But watch where you're going and go slower.
Yeah, it's okay. But or opposite to that, you're welcome for treating you just like anybody. Like we were walking.
We wanted you to feel humble.
Maybe collided.
Do you think as a famous person, like maybe you have a little bit of an ego that you want to be noticed in public? I feel like to a certain extent, right? Like somebody like Taylor Swift is probably like, God, what I wouldn't give to be incognito, because that's her entire life. But like maybe as you're like up and coming, like as people recognize you, that's probably a good little boost that you're doing something right, versus like always being, I don't know. Would you want that or would you not as a famous person?
I think I would want it in the times it's convenient. Like, when I'm getting pulled over for a parking ticket, I need you to know who I am.
Right.
Or I'm at the bar. First, we kind of pulled that move though. I expected to run into somebody famous at the hotel bar. We didn't run into anybody. We wouldn't have even
we
recognized
wouldn't have
them.
known either way.
We wouldn't recognize them.
We were
but
trying though.
Them trying to dodge us at the bar, I was like, do you know who we are? Podcasters, man.
Not the podcast.
We are podcasting. What is it called when you're like debuting? Damn, I forgot the word.
Debuting? What do you mean?
You know when like it's the name of a girl that's debuting.
What are they debuting? Debuting is like a new thing.
Anything. It's like a word. You know, English is not good to me, and this I think is French. So I don't even know how to explain it.
Je ne sais quoi.
I don't even fucking know. It means something like the name of a girl whenever they're debuting. Somebody's gonna know.
Get your ass out there. Oh. What? Not a French word.
It's gotta be like a French name. You know, it's gonna come to me, and that'll be fine later.
I genuinely have no clue what you're talking about.
Well, anyways, in that moment when we were at the bar, I really wanted the lady to be like, oh, like, let me give you all the attention. But they were like, I got all these producers, all these people, all these things. And I was like,
you don't even know if that's who they were. They were just drunk. Look, we tried to order a water because maybe not.
Yeah.
For legal purposes. I did not lie to the cop. And they wouldn't let you in the hotel to go to the bathroom
unless you were a customer.
They wanted to know if you were a customer or something like that. And so I played the dumb card because Chris had already tried it and he got scared. But listen, the other option was porta potties, and that's not happening. Mm-hmm. So I don't care how much money. I'll buy a fucking hotel room for the night if I can use your bathroom.
Yeah.
Like we don't do that. And so I was like, oh my God, can we go to the bar? And he was like, oh, no problem. Let me ride on in. So we tossed straight on over to that bathroom before we tried to get a water. And the lady went to help us. And this other lady was like, I was next. And like directed the bartender's attention. And so we were like, okay. So we like sat patiently, like chit-chatting, trying to figure out if anybody there was famous.
But did you get like that banter between bartenders where it was like, can you get them?
Yeah.
And they were like, no. And so she finally came around to it, and we're like, can we just have Pinot Grigio?
And she was like, no, not a Pinot Grigio. Oh, what? A Pellegrino. A sparkling water. And she was like, oh, yeah. And she got it.
She was like,
she like goes to hand her her card. She's like, take it. We're so busy. Just take it.
Just have it. And I was like, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
For
I
us
feel like
famous
we were
podcasts.
the surprise guests. Like, oh, they weren't as hard as I was expecting them to be. Exactly. But we were also not on the level of party mode that the other people were on.
And low-key, the people cashing out were like, what the fuck did I just do? Like, you were trying to be at the same bar as other people. Like, buddy, we just...
But we did see some famous people. We just didn't know that they were famous.
We didn't know.
So,
but there was an adventure in the restroom. Can I talk about this?
Yes.
I felt like I make friends anywhere, first off. But then I told this lady, like, because I was just being my friendly self. And I was like, wow, that color really looks great on you. We're complimenting each other. And I feel like that's what... low-key what restrooms used to be like, just more
drunk in the bathroom, like hyping each other up,
but less conversation, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think it depends on the level that you're at. If I was like drunk, then if I'm in the bathroom, like I've met my new besties.
Yeah. Okay, but
you're beautiful. What do you do for this? Where did you get this?
Okay, but those conversations are good. But tell me why. I have to tell you about this. Recently, I went out. And it was a super younger crowd. That makes a difference in the story.
Okay.
But I was sitting...
like 21 young?
Yes.
Like a couple years younger, because
like,
it does matter.
Half might have been exes, half might have been right out of exes. I'm just trying to paint the picture, right?
Yeah, no, I get it.
So I shut the door. I'm sitting down. It's in multiple stalls. But I start to hear people talking to each other. And tell me why the restroom banter has definitely changed between our generation and younger generation.
Our generation can't wear a side part or ankle socks. So, yeah, of course.
We're being told a lot of things, but this generation is getting therapized in the restroom. Like, there's this one girl talking to this other girl over each other's stalls, not even the same one, because we would have shared stalls back in the day.
Yeah, we would have.
So that's already different. This girls are talking over each other, and
Wait,
I'm just
like
happen
they're
to be
standing, or they're just in their respective
stalls having a conversation. And some girls trying to give the other girl advice around like, this is speaking to your insecurities.
Oh my!
So you knew her insecurities
With the
before here.
You had an X on your hand?
Yes, and don't fall for this habit that you know that you do. This is your routine and blah blah. All things that I'm like talking about anxiety, getting triggered, past relationship trauma responses, and I'm like, oh my god, great conversation. Love that you're emotionally aware. This is not the environment, and or by me getting to a club is normally the time where I start drinking.
I've already had a few drinks if I'm going to a
You're
club.
not, and you cannot possibly tell me. Although I have heard a lot of people don't drink anymore, which I'm confused.
What do they do?
Just first of all, they're scared to go out. But let's say we go out, they don't drink.
What do you?
Great question. Let's ask. But
smoke?
What I'm saying is, they were having some deep thoughts, and I was like, I'm not prepared, and I'm just sitting in the middle. I would
immediately have left. Like if I appreciate those conversations. I am in awe that somebody is emotionally aware enough to have those conversations. Yeah. You got an X on your hand. If I had an X on my hand, we were trying to fight bitches. I was.
You look at me crazy.
You come at me and tell me, oh, that's a trigger for you, and you need to let it go, bitch. I'm coming for you. Like I would have told you to shove it up your ass. Like that's not the place for it, and I would have walked off. I don't think I learned how to be emotionally stable. It's probably debatable if it's today true, but
it's today.
At least till I was 30.
But then you have like your any given Sunday moments, like any given random, it could come out unstable.
Oh, yes.
I feel like that's called that. Oh, maybe I'm using it in the wrong way. You don't know. English is second language.
Well, we have a whole situation of we were a girl at a bar with a French name and didn't get recognized.
It's got to be so. I'll think about it. Okay, but along these lines, it reminded me of a TikTok I saw, which was really fucking funny, because this girl knew that the girls talk to each other in front of the stall, around the stalls.
Yeah,
which is true even in our age. But she was being a little toxic and was like, I wonder what they would say if I said this. And she just said, should I text him? In multiple restrooms, and she filmed herself doing this, and she was like, she would get all these people from their stalls, like, shut door. No, don't fucking do it.
That's awesome.
This, like, you're better than that. Didn't even know her. Didn't have no connection. All these girls were so supportive about this girl not texting him. There was absolutely nobody she was texting. She was just doing for fun, just to see what happened. But then one of the last ones was so perfect, was like, text his brother. I was like, no.
Yes. Oh, no.
Those are all the friends you need.
That is the friends you need. That's and then you come out and they're like so little.
So a little bit, it's mixed. That girl was more in a crowd of like mixed between being therapied about you're stronger than this, don't do it.
Yeah.
And somewhere in between us was like still toxic about like message the brother and fuck around, find out kind of thing, you know? So
I mean, listen, they probably had it coming.
Yeah, it was just such a great experience. Also, I'm not prepared for these restrooms. I'm not prepared for these restrooms.
But I feel like that's where like the people are the nicest.
Yeah.
You know, whereas
you're
like
most vulnerable for sure.
For sure. And then if you are all drinking, like it's just a place where people can come together for like camaraderie. Because nothing is worse than like being at a concert and like people fighting or like it getting out of hand. Like you're ruining the vibe for everybody.
Yeah.
Because I feel like even in the crowd, like somebody passed out because we're in Texas and it was really hot.
It was hot.
I had boots on and I was like, I'm going to get down and tie my shoe and see what happened. I was going to look through everybody's legs. Like, this is what happens when you're short and nimble, you know?
Yeah. And when they first ran in front of us from passing out, some girl went to go get the police. Yeah. And at first, she ran into me and I was like, huh, that was rude.
And then the girl behind us was really tall. And so we looked at her because her and her friend were looking and we were like, what happened? They're like, yeah, we just passed out. And we were like, cool, thanks for the update. And then we became friends with them. Well, for us.
If you're still our followers, we're very excited to be friends with you. Yes. That was all. But anyways.
It was cool though. Then we got to hang out and talk to them anyway. And we started talking to one of their boyfriends and didn't know it. And then he kept talking about my girlfriend. And he was talking to my husband. And then they came back, and I was like, oh, we're
all
already
friends.
besties. Like,
we're
what
all
are you talking
friends.
about? We know them
Yeah.
already. We've been nosy together. That immediately we're bonded. So
Exactly.
yeah, I think it's better to have that than like girls being catty towards each other.
Yeah.
But
if we bond over like being in the know,
yeah, being
that's
messy
great.
together, obviously that's what we love.
I do want to say that I think as a duo, me and you, we have a new big, audacious, huge goal.
Yes.
Because
we're gonna manifest it.
We're gonna manifest this. One day we will host
the Cannabis Cup.
Or something.
Or the
like
Reggae Fest.
Something festival, something awards. The reason we say this is because they had two girls, podcasters host the like MC basically, but co-host and do their podcast while they were there. And I was like, these got to be really good podcasters. Like this is what we're aiming for.
But
like
to watch them, it was just like
what we were doing.
Like what we do.
Yeah,
so,
we weren't too far off. So I was like,
get noticed, but maybe next time.
And also, like, could we do this one day? Like, it's definitely possible. We're open to it. Could be possible. Could we aim for it? Shoot for the stars, man.
Why not? Right?
We can announce the
Why
winners.
not?
Hey,
but a Reggae Fest, that'd be so up our alley.
Yeah,
or the Cannabis Cup.
Anything. We're open to host and be MCs for you, and we're fun people.
You can hire us. We're pretty cheap.
Send us an email. Message us on Instagram. We're super affordable. We'll pay for our tickets if you just want to give us a mic.
On the 15th, okay? Bills are due on the 1st.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
But that's okay, so speaking of concerts, I recently saw a movie about concerts, but it was with Anne Hathaway.
Yes. Man, she looked good too.
Yes, she looked great.
So pretty.
The reason I got on my radar is because there had been a lot of interviews around people saying like, I'm glad you're making a movie that I needed to see as a millennial. Like, it's okay to
date younger
people.
It was called look great. The Idea of You, right?
Yeah. And
I heard rumors about this movie though, because I did watch it. We had like a movie marathon this weekend.
Oh yeah.
So we watched Fall Guy in the theaters, which is cool if you want to see like how films are made, like stunts.
Oh, okay.
It was really cool. But then we came watch a rom-com of this.
Yeah.
So I loved it.
I saw this. It was a rom-com recent week for me, and maybe it's just because movies are slowly getting produced, so I want to see whichever one is out there.
Yeah.
Anything But You, but then this Idea of You.
That was a good one too, though. I like that one a lot. But the Idea of You, it left a little to be desired. Like, I think they could have done a little more.
Yeah.
But I think that's because of the books we choose to read.
Yes. But it definitely seems like it was based off of a book. So then it got me to thinking, like.
Yeah, but you were the one who shared the rumor mill with me.
I asked my friend who likes books. I asked her, I was like, have you read this rom-com novel?
Was it based off a novel?
It's supposed to be loosely based off of what is it called when you're a famous person?
A celebrity?
No. A novel. Fan fiction.
Fan fiction.
I was like, have you read a fan fiction book about this story? And she was like, no. Well, just because she likes love books like we do.
She definitely gives good recommendations.
Yes, she does. And she was like, no. And I was like, okay, well, this movie just came out and kind of left the ending on a cliffhanger. But also the speculation was that this movie was about Harry Styles.
And Olivia Wilde.
Yeah.
Because the premise is like he's in a boy band, she's older, they get together at a very high level. Because I'm not about to give spoilers and get canceled. Because Amazon could come for us and they could shut it down.
Yeah, no. It was a really good movie. But then, like, after watching it, I was like, okay, you guys in the interview were, like, being extra. It was a good movie. It was a good movie.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I never heard that. And then for you to say that, I do feel like it, like,
loosely based off of
back,
it.
Yeah. Because I don't know that I ever would have put that together just because like the job was different and my brain doesn't really be like, that could have been this.
But I've heard that about a lot of fan fiction novels. Like
novels?
Yeah.
That they're based out of truth?
Fan fiction stories where it's like, okay, Pretend like the Twilight series, and you have the main characters. And I'm sorry if I don't truly follow this very much, but I know that there's a team.
Jacob.
And
a team werewolf.
Yeah. No. Vampire.
Edward.
Yeah.
Edward.
And let's say there was a fan, and they liked Team Jacob.
I also watched.
and they fell in love with like Team Jacob. Well, somebody will write a fan will be like, what if Jacob discovered a new animal and there were squirrels or something? I don't fucking know. And they went on to make a story.
Oh, like a whole plot line about it.
It's a whole plot line. It never was intended to actually be related to Twilight at all.
It was just like your brain wanted to see
it go in this direction. So I think the whole Harry thing or the story, it was like slightly from Harry, but it was like she had a kid. She had like this whole divorce plot. She had this whole self-discovery in her end.
They waited for them because
we're not going to say, but it was a good movie.
At a bus stop.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it away. I almost started to, but yes, this makes so much sense. Okay, I understand that now. I don't think I've ever. Are there other movies like that?
Fan fictions?
Yeah. Or books? What books have you read that are fan fiction? I don't know that I've ever even heard of this genre because I stick to like two genres.
I didn't know because I just read the series as reading the series, but I think all the afters are fan fictions from something.
Oh, I've never read the series. I just watched the movies, and I loved the movies.
Oh, I read the books, and I obviously love the books more. But somebody told me it was a fan fiction too.
Oh, I wonder who that would be about. Can I tell you a fun fact about this? Me and Sarah did movie marathons. We found one night the after series, and there was like 2 on Netflix and 1 on Hulu and 1 on Amazon, right? Because they had been out for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think she had seen the first one, and so she rewatched it with me, and then we watched all of them before the last one came out. And the last one, I mean, there was a good gap between it, but we had seen advertised that it was going to be in theaters. So I thought, wow, this series has gotten so big. They're releasing the last one into theaters. Mm-hmm. So we got super pumped up about it. Chris used his movie passes, got us tickets, and it was like 2 nights only. And we were like, that's interesting. And like I had picked a seat next to someone else, like kind of towards the front, because I wanted to make sure we were like a good spot.
Yeah.
And we got there and we were watching these previews, and it was like on this specific preview, and it was like people like dress up in like Star Wars costumes and like themed to go watch older movies in the theater, and it's like only a few night event. And I was like, that's bizarre. Who loves movies that much to go do that? And then it was like, now enjoy your blah 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 movie. And it was like, I looked at her and I was like, we do. And it was like a movie special where it was like the tickets cost extra. It was out on Amazon Prime the next day. Like we didn't have to go see that in theaters, and I thought it was only coming out in theaters. So we dragged our dumbasses to
I've been to the Grease thing
to go watch the last one.
Like you're supposed to dress up as Grease, and they leave props for you at your seat to do. Yeah, so like.
This wasn't like this. This was, and there was no one in the theater, and we were next to this girl and her man.
No, that is not the movie to be next to people. Well, also because I read the books. Hard. I did all of the books.
That's one I think that I would like the book series because I like.
That's one that I followed through all the way.
Yeah.
Before I was reading more.
Do you feel like the characters who played them in the movies did a good job of what you had in your head or
no?
Okay.
In my brain, I'm sorry.
Don't be.
In my brain, anytime I read a book, this is not just them. Anytime I read a book, I go immediately to my catalog of artists, like actors, and I'm like, who are they going to be? And in that case,
oh, interesting.
In that case, when they were describing the guy main role, I was like, oh, he's big, he's muscly, blah blah blah. All this kind of stuff. The girl, I thought she would look different. And then so when I go to see them and they're super young, underdeveloped type of thing, I'm like, oh,
got it, right? Yeah, that wasn't it. Yeah, but Okay, I do feel like that, but also like I don't know that I really often picture faces.
Oh.
Mine just I'm like, okay, I got the body and the outline of it, like I'm okay. And if they say
No.
that they're like blonde or like sandy blonde or dirty blonde in a book, it's immediately me.
I also try
It's
to,
just me.
this is weird, but I also gauge men like before Thor or after Thor's breakdown. Like, are you a dead bod? Or are you before Thor, Jewish Thor? And I was like, okay, now we have a range. And that
Okay,
leaves
what are
all
you
the
talking
Chris's,
about?
like Kerem Sivworth, Chris whatever,
Yeah,
all the,
yeah.
and then over here you have all of the older ones. So then you have like, I don't know, it's my gauge. It's really weird. After that, the descriptions will put like dark hair. Okay, change the hair. And then it'll be like really tall. I was like, okay, not these shorter actors. Got it. And you know, like, I don't know, I just go down the list, but I
That's funny.
start with Thor.
It's a good gauge. I can't be mad about it.
I'm just like, how big on the Thor scale, and then start tweaking it.
Wait, you've read books where they're not on a Thor scale?
Apparently, after wasn't, but
Well, that was the movies, though. I'm talking
no,
about like
because
in the
usually,
books, they're always like super duper ripped, super duper
yeah.
tatted up. Sometimes I have man buns, sometimes not. Like basically like a Hallmark
So you do
movie
gauge off of
character.
Thor. Everything you're describing is Thor.
Yes, but I never read a book where it's like he was a little pudgy. That doesn't exist.
No, that's true.
In the movies though, I could understand it, but like in the books, like they're always like
Maybe,
chiseled but never work out, tatted but never get extra tats. And
maybe I
sometimes
do
they're
judge when I hear older Salt and Pepper. I think a little bit more of that.
yeah. Okay, yes, yes.
Maybe, but well, like one of my favorite books, it was about a guy who was like a personal trainer. So I think like pre Thor, before he had his meltdown,
Yes.
because that's at the peak of it, and
Yeah,
I'm like, oh yeah,
yeah.
I can see that.
Right.
Blonde,
But then
can
like
see
with the
that.
girls, they're always like, she had a tummy, she has squishy. I don't like that when they describe a girl as squishy. That grosses me out. But then they're like, she had meat on her bones, or she liked to eat, or
Or
like
like
she
they
was
talk about like
slim.
distressed hair. They talk
Yeah,
about
they
like
never
never
talk
being put
about like
together.
she's got a flat stomach and like super ripped, which I appreciate because I feel like I'm sure guys have like a I don't know if a
Profile.
stigma, but like guys have insecurities, but I feel like for a girl, you can be treated differently based on different sizes and body shapes and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
for the books to have like all different shapes and sizes of women in them or girls or whatever you call it, I appreciate that.
It's more inclusive for sure.
Yeah,
Because the
more than
books,
like she was so skinny, I felt like I was gonna break her. Like that's not
yeah,
fun.
no. Yeah, to your point,
Also,
that's
we read romance books that I just feel like I
oh, we did go off of a whole subject. We love these books. We love romance books, even if it's not like
we're so millennial right now.
I know we
It's
are speaking
dark
our.
and disgusting.
We should have a whole book talk, but that's another one.
It's a different time, but also like for any dark romance books I'll talk to you about all day long. All day long can't stop me.
But talking about stuff that we're fans about.
Yes, okay, but I also want to talk
Oh, go ahead.
oh.
No.
Because of movies that we've like seen recently, there's
Yes.
also like some good stuff that's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rumors
That there's a new Legally
But I need to know how you found this out. Go ahead
Honestly,
and tell our fans.
Instagram. Reese Witherspoon announced it with Amazon Prime.
So she's for sure bought in.
It's called Elle Woods or something like that.
And
it's a new Prime series, and it just says coming soon.
What's the Owen brother that's married to her in the series?
Luke.
I hope he comes along.
Luke Wilson? Owen Wilson. Luke Wilson.
Luke Wilson.
Yes, I'm sure.
He's like my favorite,
so
like guy that loves girl power.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I love his role in
love
these
a good
movies.
Supportive role.
Yeah. Oh, I love him so much. Oh, okay. So sorry. It's announced that she's making a third.
Yes.
Where are we gonna find the dog? Because I think it's dead by now.
If we're going realistic, yeah, of course.
How could it not be realistic? We grew up with them.
I'm saying this dog is like 30 years old, and I don't think Chihuahuas live that long.
Oh, Chihuahuas do live a long time.
They do live a long time, but not 30.
Or maybe it'll respectfully pay homage, and it'll be like a new version of the Chihuahua.
Like this is Bruiser's son.
Yeah.
Buster. I don't know.
I'm very excited to watch it.
Yeah.
Even when she came out with her, first of all, just actors we grew up with coming back. Like she came back with a movie on Netflix with Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, that one was cute.
Yeah. And I was just like, wow, she's a mom. They didn't do too much hot and heavy scenes or anything. It was just like respectful, but at the same time, I was like, I'm so excited to bring back somebody, like not these random people. I don't know. I don't want to call them random because I think we need more actors.
Newer.
But yeah, it was exciting. I'm excited for her.
Yeah, I think it just is like a bit nostalgic. And then it's also like those little moments I feel like that I seep into where I'm like, God, I'm getting old. Oh. Like it makes me feel older because it's like things like, that younger kids don't care about.
Yeah. Like I'm sure people that are younger didn't get phased on the fact that this whole story between Anne Hathaway and this hairy fake guy was about Anne Hathaway being like older than him and like being confident in her body.
Like I would love to hear. Are they interested in the movie at all, or was that made for a specific demographic?
Right.
Questions. I have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm here for it because it was awesome. It was a great movie.
We can't wait to watch it and then come back and tell you guys about it.
Oh, are you talking about Reese Witherspoon?
Yeah.
Yes.
We need to watch it.
We definitely need to watch it.
We'll go to the actual movie premiere about
It's a series. It's not even a movie. We don't even need to go anywhere.
Okay.
So if someone tells us we need to, they're lying.
All right. We'll come in popcorn together.
Yeah. We'll come in popcorn.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. And then we'll just give you updates.
Yeah, for sure.
So speaking of being old, I have some really exciting news that I don't know if it is exciting to everyone, but for me it is.
What?
Like, people get all up in arms about the government and like who's who and who's doing the stuff and
people. Yep. Yeah. We're not too political on here.
No, I don't think we are at all. But I mean, I also don't give a shit.
And we also care at the same time.
We do care for certain things.
But like to your point, like one of the things that happened today is that they announced the debate. Yeah. There was an accepting of debates between the two the current president and ex-president. To me, I know I should take it way more seriously. But it felt like the pre-rumble to the Canelo fight right before they actually go into the fight. And I know that's not how people...
When they stand face to face and they're like...
Yes, and then they have their little press conference and they want to like...
I'm going to get in your face. I'm going to get in your face.
And then Canelo's like, I'm fucking my pussy and all this kind of shit. Like, that's what he said. He doesn't speak English very well, which I know it's a second language. And he's like, I'm just mad and blah, blah, blah. And the other actual fighter was just sitting and taking it the whole time. But I'm a boxing fan. People might not know that.
All these people.
Anyways, so he was going at, the other guy. Anyways, that's what I felt the recent announcement was like. The announcement of the pre-fight is about to come.
There they go.
Is that not what it feels like?
I don't know. I'm not going to watch it.
Feels like there's a rumble in the jungle and it's about to go down.
Like, I just feel like maybe we need to, like, clean sweep. Like,
no.
Let's bring in somebody a little younger.
Does need to have a moment to break up and not have anybody.
Take some time for yourself. And I don't know who's in charge of what and where. What I do know is I graduated from the Art Institute.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody up in a big house decided false and wiped my student loans for all Art Institute graduates. Yep. Thank you. Yeah. So if you were there from a certain time frame, it's gone.
Yeah.
Like you log on to your student loans and it's just gone.
We talked about this at the water cooler, but it's a lot of people. And it's more than just
317,000 students.
Yeah. And so I was even saying, I was like, I can't figure out right now, like, every time I hear about forgiving student loans, it's just so impacting to the people I'm literally next to.
Well, and
if you talk about trying to fix,
sometimes it doesn't. Like,
and if you try to talk to me about fixing Social Security and how it's going to be however many years from now, I'm just not going to benefit from it.
But I also don't understand it enough to have a valid conversation with you.
Right. Current things that, policies and changes to women's choice and things like that. Things that I can actually walk in and be changed with, or the person next to me be changed with, are the things that my ears perk up a little bit more. I say all that to say, like, my brother has student loans.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, what do you see in your balance? Like, Lauren just saw this.
Yeah.
But you texted your friends too. Like, a lot of people are impacted by this.
No, it was the only people I reached out to though were ones that had gone to the Art Institute.
Oh, okay.
I didn't text anybody outside of that because I don't know. Like,
I think it's also the way your loan were given. I don't know.
Yeah, because life in general, like, financial stuff, I will talk to people about it, but it's not a comfortable subject for me.
Sure.
I wasn't really like taught, I don't want to say like financial stability, but like
literacy.
Yeah, like not to the extent that some people were. And that's fine. It's just like, when I know that I have student loans, I'll make jokes about them, but I know people who don't have student loans, and it's like, I know that they can't relate. And I'm like, I love that for you, but it's hard not to compare myself.
Yeah.
And feel less than because I do still have that. But these, like, I had text people that I knew went to the Art Institute and was like, what are you seeing? And it was only because our coworker was like, hey, I think this is you, knowing I went to the Art Institute, because the Art Institute closed, so I can joke about this now.
The artists gravitate to the artists.
Sure. But like, they closed, so it's not like, obviously they weren't great. And so it's like, I've been pretty vocal about where I went to school because we make jokes about it. But like, I wouldn't have known about that, and I would have been hella confused logging on. But it was like a big piece of excitement, like that. I don't feel like I get directly impacted in a positive way from things in the government
often.
Yeah, and it's not like I don't pay attention to anything. I feel like my concerns go more on like the social side than they do on the financial side. Like, I think we like leave that to the badasses.
Like, if somebody so like if somebody's talking about improving taxes, I would love to join in that fight. At the end of the day, I gotta pay what I gotta pay.
And explain it to me like I'm 5, because I don't really know what you're talking about, and I would love to know.
I want to get better at this. I know these are bad answers.
I want to learn, but it's not something that excites me. It drains my energy, so I'm not going to put a lot of effort into it. I'll back you all day long, and I'll be your voice. I'll even tell people what they don't want to hear, but I'm not probably going to put the work in to learn. I'm going to need you to give me some cliff notes.
Yeah.
Maybe like a cute little 1-pager.
Yep. I also would definitely judge a candidate by their website. If you are not tech savvy,
or like if someone wants to be like, here, these are like the 5 main points that this person is for. These are the 5 main points this person is against. And then like, here's a list of topics that this person's working on. Let me do a little bit of research, as much or as little as I want to, because like, you may have really great 5 top topics, but also like, what if I fundamentally disagree with things you're against that I think you should be for? Like, also a problem.
I feel like when I go vote, it's definitely a study sesh, but a cram session.
Well, yeah.
When I go vote, I'm like, don't talk to me for an hour. I gotta go read all these websites. Gotta go read all these.
Yeah, and I feel like I also ask a few people, like, I know that you're really wealthy, so who would you want to vote for in this situation? And then I know that you're socially like
closer to where I am,
aware and mature, and you've got a pulse on things. Who are you voting? And I'm gonna take everybody's answers, form my own opinion, do my own research, and then go to vote.
That's the only way I just am
also
voting.
Never going to get involved with it. Like, don't try and debate me about politics. I don't give a shit. I just think that like, it's like, let it fucking be. Like, why are you so pissed off about something that doesn't even like, if you don't want people to, like, if you don't like abortions, don't get one.
Yeah. I wish that it was just, it didn't feel so polar.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I don't know when
middle ground.
I don't know when it changed from being like 0 guns,
I think
like rifles are, to no guns at all, because peace on earth. And I'm just like, I'm sure there's something in the middle where obviously safety is a concern, and you should have the right to protect yourself. But then, like, could we agree there's some responsibility that still needs to happen? I just think that polars are sucky, and
let's have a happy middle.
I just wonder, like, where there's not too often a like Switzerland for America. Like, who's Switzerland for us, you know?
Well, they don't get voted if they are. I think it's the problem.
Exactly.
But I also think, like, I struggle because, like, my mom grew up where that wasn't a thing, right?
Yeah.
Britain has their own set of legislations and things that are legal and things that are not. So it's like, I just don't, I get it, but it also feels like America was maybe formed because a bunch of people didn't like Britain's laws, and it's just maybe got a little out of hand. But like, cool, but can we just meet in the middle? Like, let's just have a rational conversation.
I would love to sit
chill
in
the fuck out.
I think we would be good mediators in the White House and be like, I think the root problem for you is this.
No.
We need to have restroom talk with legislators.
No, we don't.
I feel like y'all are triggered.
We're too nosy. We'd be like, and then what happened? She said, what? What do you mean he said that? That's rude, right?
I would just be like wanting to talk through problems, be like, but what is your goal?
But I feel like, you know, like at our company, we hire off of like
values.
We align with the same values, and like our personalities mesh, and your work ethic is, you know, high productive, high function, all of those things. I feel like the White House is like where you put together like, hey, this is a group of people who said they were willing to do it. Like, let's just see what happens and just shake it up. Like, nobody really aligns, which is why there's always such like conflict. Like, but also like that would never be us because I'm too tired to fight with you. Like, I'm just really.
I would just be like, Texas, California, can we talk about the migration?
Let me hear yours. Let me pull you for a chat for a second.
Let's talk about Colorado.
How can we get that across everyone? Like, you guys are doing so well, sweetie. That's how I feel. And it just wouldn't, never gonna work.
No.
So and that's why we're not invested, because it's like, I don't want to argue with you about any of this.
We're not politicians.
Have your opinion. Cool. I respect you, probably. But
and also, at the end of the day, do what you do. I'm very excited your loans are forgiven.
Thank you.
I feel like we're gonna be like the TikToks where it's like there will be changes, subtle changes, subtle signs.
I might have a car by the end of this year.
What?
Okay.
We're gonna know, like,
I don't know if I want one. Yeah.
But I'm very excited for you.
Well, and I hope Jesse's are forgiven too.
I hope it's a confirmed.
TBD. So we'll find out. Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyways, that was a bit of a tangent of
all the things.
Tangent.
We obviously needed this time to catch up.
We needed a little bench sesh.
Yeah.
So yeah. Thank you for joining us and making it this far. And if you have questions or you want to see certain topics covered, feel free to shoot us over an email at highwinetimes@gmail.com.
We're still those millennial girls that respond to emails.
If we get them.
Follow us on Instagram. Listen to us anywhere.
Podcast.
Spotify.
Oh, Spotify.
Right?
Yes, I said podcast. That's what this is.
Spotify.
YouTube. Apple Music.
Amazon.
Audible.
Yeah.
Yep. Anywhere you can find a podcast, you can find us. And so like and subscribe. And
we loved y'all. I missed y'all. I can't wait to hear from you.
Yes.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Okay.